Hey there, Robbie Henderson with the Henderson team, and I'm sitting here with my good friend Dave Ward from Buddy Brew, and I wanted to bring him out for a community feature and talk to him about Buddy Brew and how cool this concept is, and get his story and share it with y'all. So Dave, tell me about Buddy Brew and tell me your story. How'd y'all get started?
Well, first and foremost, my wife and I are complete 100% coffee freaks. So coffee has just always been a part of our lives. And when we actually were dating, we would hang out in cafes, which led, then actually the first gift I ever gave her was a $15 coffee maker from Walmart, believe it or not. Really romantic, right? Yeah. So anyway, that just, when we got married and that just led to kind of a deeper exploration into coffee, which was manual brewing in a whole bunch of different ways. We did French presses and Melita like pour overs before it was even cool to do those kinds of things, right? It was our thing. We joined different coffee clubs, from places like Pete's and Starbucks and a bunch of other stuff way back. And I gotta remember, this was like in the 90s. So right. It was when Starbucks was cool. Not that it isn't cool today, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not even really allowed to say the S word, but so you're gonna have to edit that one out. Okay? Otherwise I'll be in trouble with my wife. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But that whole idea of this exploration of coffee led to home roasting, which we started doing in 2002. And it was kind of a light bulb moment for us, Robbie. It was like, we have no idea what we're doing, but whatever this is exponentially better than anything you can get in the grocery store. And so that freshness, that whole idea of fresh roasted coffee is kind of what was the beginning of the Buddy Brew idea. So that whole thing just kind of led to, there's a downturn in the real estate market, which is, with my life, I was on the commercial side of it, on the money side of it. And I said, what the heck? I have extra time right now, so I'm going to throw up a website to see if I can sell some of this coffee. And by that time, we'd given it away as office presents, Christmas gifts, served it at dinner parties, that kind of thing. And people were just all like, well, what the heck is this stuff? This is awesome. And you know what? It just kind of happened. And people started buying coffee. And I'll never forget the day that someone other than my mom and my best friend bought a bag online.
And they actually paid for it.
And paid for it. It was amazing. Yes. So anyway, that was really the beginning. And then if knowing Susan and I, we are, one of our gifts is hospitality. And I don't say that egotistically, it's just what we've always done. And so the idea of a cafe, of bringing this big idea of serving other people, bringing them into your home, and just loving on them, just as part of who we are. So you couple that with coffee, which, if you think about it, almost some of the most important decisions in the world are done over a cup of coffee. In your kitchen, you're always drinking coffee, at least we are. Yeah. And so it was a perfect melding of those two ideas, loving on people and a freaking awesome cup of coffee.
Amen.
So,
well, and tell me about when you were in Hyde Park and driving on the first deliveries. Because I remember the really cool bike that you would use. You'd go around and deliver it to everybody in the beginning?
Yeah, our first delivery vehicle was, they called it a cargo bike. And it was a bike designed to basically haul stuff. And so there was a big basket on the front of it, big bags in the back of it. And we would drive all through Hyde Park, really South Tampa, because we went, Davis Islands and beyond on that bike. And we even had a thing that a guy who was working for us back then, his name was Ty. And it's like, where's Ty? And so we had a whole promotion. You find Ty and get a free cup of coffee. So anyway, those were fun times for sure.
So you guys have grown exponentially. Mm-hmm. We're sitting here right now in your original building.
Yes.
And we're located on Kennedy. We're at Kennedy.
We're at 2020 West Kennedy. That's the flagship shop. That's where it all started.
Okay, and what are your other locations?
So our second location actually is the Oxford Exchange. So we
It's
run.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, although that is the most amazing piece of architecture, I think, in Tampa. It's just, if you haven't been there, you got to go see it. But we run the coffee bar there, as well as serve all the coffee into the restaurant there, and that's an amazing place. That opportunity alone really changed the face of Buddy Brew. It was an exposure to a much broader market and kind of brought us a lot of great success. We then opened a shop in Hyde Park Village, which is doing well. We have a shop in downtown Sarasota, just off of Main Street on Palm. And then our most recent shop opened in downtown in the Park Tower building, which is right on it takes the block of Tampa, Kennedy, Ashley, and what's that on the first side street? I can't. Anyway, that block. It's the old BB&T building.
Got it. Yes.
Right. It's the oldest high rise in downtown Tampa. It's the first one.
The old Lights building.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. So and then we also have a location in the airport,
which is so cool. I mean, the fact that we get to. Well, that's what I love about Tampa Airport is how they have that stuff where we have these original Tampa flavor places, and you guys are in one of those terminals. I think you're in the Southwest terminal. Is it?
No, we're actually in F, which is American.
Got it.
That's
but I have been there.
Yeah.
When I fly to Houston, that's where I am.
It was supposed to be. I mean, I think Southwest. They were supposed to bring Southwest into that terminal. Some of the additional flights there, but I don't know if it.
Got it.
But anyway, it's a great opportunity.
Well, and you got a new one coming on Beta Bay.
We do. Beta Bay we're super excited about that. That neighborhood has gone kind of bonkers. After hearing that
we're excited because we live there, so we're very fired up for the parking and the ability to do that.
Yes, we're very excited about the location, and it's going to be in the old ClickFit building. Yeah. And so we're just about to start construction on it. Actually, any day, which we're thrilled. We're thrilled for. We also really believe that whole section of town is underserved from a coffee standpoint. You have, Starbucks just down the street a little bit, and you have kind of Dough and That's around the corner on McDill. But that whole stretch, I think, is going to be unbelievably.
Every morning when I'm taking the kids to school, you're on my right-hand side. We'll be able to zip in,
morning
zip
side
out.
of the street, baby. That's good.
All right, so honestly, I would love to ask you the question of what's different about Buddy Brew, but I think you've already said it. I mean, you really are different, and you're out to serve.
Well, if you look at our mission statement, which is brew good, do good, that kind of encapsulates who we are and why we're different. The brew good piece talks specifically about the coffee and everything you have to do to make this cup right every time. Because if this isn't right, nothing's right? And so it's that attention to detail to ensure that that's right every time. Farmers do the hardest work in coffee, right? And so our goal is just not to mess that up, because at every step of the way, it can be messed up. So we source the best of the best beans in the world. We roast those beans to sweet, delicious perfection. And then in the shops, the barista can turn this into a cup of crap very quickly if they don't do it right? So that's the brew good piece, is making sure that all those details are taken care of. The do good piece, though, really is the passion behind Buddy Brew, and that is the why. It's the people. If you look at what happens in a coffee shop, there's community created every single day. I remember when we opened, nobody even knew what Buddy Brew was, who Buddy Brew was, what our gig was, or anything. But over the course of the next few months, there was this thing that happened in the shop. Everybody knew everybody. But as it began, nobody knew anybody. And that happens every single day here. And I think that's one of the big whys, is that our goal, our mission, our strategy is not what most businesses' strategies would be. It's not to have just a great cup of coffee, right? Or the best food, or, our strategy is to love on people. And if you love on people, the right way, what really happens is that there is a joy that's created that's not only beneficial to the customer who's getting loved on, but the people who are serving are people who are serving the customers, because they get loved on even more. Yeah. And that's the amazing thing. And when that whole thing happens right, it's kind of transforming. And even when we're not perfect, there's grace that's created because this thing is right, and I think that's in large part why there's an army of people out there shouting Buddy Brew's name, which is the most amazing thing. I pinch myself.
It really is cool. And it's an honor to be your friend.
Robbie,
I thank you so
amazing,
much
man.
for doing this.
Love what
Thank
you're
you,
doing.
and please visit Buddy Brew, as I know you already are. Thank you.